Hi, I'm Rusty Allen, Education and Outreach Coordinator for North Haven Gardens, here in the shade section at NHG, where we have a wide selection of different kinds of plants. And I want to focus on the perennial side of our shade section with several things to show you today that I think will be a great solution for a shade garden. I have a lot of shade issues in my home garden too, and there are different kinds of plants that are the best for me, that really are good hard workers. One is good old liriope, monkey grass for a lot of us, and there's several different varieties of them, but here are two of my favorites, and these are great in containers and not just as a ground cover. The variegated liriope with its yellowy green color is one of my go-tos because I can use it like a grass in the garden, especially in a container. It moves a little bit and it gives long-lasting evergreen color. The other one is going to be Silver Dragon with more of a white creaminess to it. Both are excellent, both are evergreen. Maintenance is going to be very much like a real grass would be, which is just cutting it back one time a year, late winter, early spring, around February. You get some new growth, and then by late summer you get some little blue flowers that come in, which are a really nice thing right on top. Something else I wanted you to know about is something I find very pretty. This is strawberry begonia, or Saxifraga stolonifera. Strawberry begonia is a great name because it really looks like begonia and it reproduces like strawberries. You'll see these little long strands coming out, forming little plantlets, little babies coming off the side, which makes it a ground cover, but again, very attractive in containers. And in my garden, this was uncovered in a cold, cold winter, came back just fine, not a problem. And the little light, airy, almost foam-like flowers that are very dainty on top gives you just one more bonus to this wonderful plant that's really great in the winter. It may kind of minimize, sometimes I call it, during the winter, and then just come right back for you. Very attractive plant. I like this one. I always have to have a native. I always love my Texas natives, and there's a Texas native for just about every situation. Here's a great one. This is called Cedar Sage. Remember, this is a true salvia, and there's so many kinds of salvias. There's a salvia for every purpose too. But this one is going to be Salvia roemeriana. This is a red-tipped sage. In about early to mid-spring, you're going to get these beautiful flowers which attract hummingbirds. It's going to be the kind of a plant that you'll want in shade. It grows under the shade of cedars, hence the name. It'll take dense shade and still bloom for you. Again, this one kind of minimizes for me in my garden and then just pops right back. It may reproduce by seed a little bit, but definitely required for a shade garden. Here's another good stalwart that's been around a long time. This plant was originally called Wandering Jew. You may know it by that name. We call it Purple Heart these days. This is a super, super tough perennial. I like this plant because it can almost stay evergreen in the winter. Sometimes it goes to the ground and comes back, but it's very versatile. This plant can get into full sun situation or a shade situation, and you still get this purple coloration. Remember, a lot of times in shade, we can't get enough sun for flowers, but you can get colored foliage, the variegation, like the stripes in the liriope, and these little lavendery pink flowers on top of something like the Wandering Jew or Purple Heart will give you a plant that gives you color where you may be lacking flowers. Terrific, terrific plant. Here's another one I like for that very reason. This is Dianella, or flax lily, and this Dianella, this particular one, has beautiful white stripe markings on this lily-like foliage. I use mine in containers. This one's a little more sensitive to the cold, but not too much so. You can't protect it in the winter. It'll come right back. And then has a little wiry little stem that comes up in about late spring to midsummer, and little small star-like lavender flowers. Again, it's just really a nice bonus on top for this plant. Lovely, lovely. And here's some of the others I wanted you to know about. Again, when you're talking about shade, it's tough to get any kind of grasses, but you can get a grass-like plant. These are the sedges. These are just some of the varieties of sedges. There's so many to choose from. And again, notice you're getting a little bit of white creaminess, or maybe an acid, bright, limey green, or even a brown color. This one's not dead. It's actually this beautiful brown color for contrast in the garden, a little bit of movement. Sedges are treated just like a grass, so your maintenance is easy too. Again, you just cut them down about Valentine's Day, late winter, early spring. Let them come right back, let them spread. You can use them in the ground or containers. They're very versatile and a much better choice than trying to grow grass in shade. There are so many options for you here at North Haven, especially when it comes to shade. If you're dealing with darkness, come and see us. We've got garden advisors to show you an annual choice, a perennial choice, or maybe a shrub that will help you with your shade garden. Come see us.